This morning, Madison Metro Schools getting some unexpected aid, what it means for taxpayers ahead of November's referendum.
I don't think it's fair because we've already been spent into this hole.
Plus, why one group is urging voters to vote no on one November referendum. Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now This Morning. I'm Kyrie Lee.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for joining us. It's the cold morning that we've been preparing everybody for. Did it live up to the hype?
I don't know. I feel like it was a little bit cooler yesterday, actually. But, you know, this morning it was bearable, you know.
It's weird for me, like when I walk out the door in the morning, I'm not fully awake enough to understand what the weather is doing.
To understand the pain.
You wake up and you're just like, oh yeah, it's kind of cold. And then you come into work and you're like, oh, it's really cold. Oh yeah, it's down in the 20s this morning.
Yes.
Anyway, let's check in with Savannah Brito. She's out on the patio to give us an idea of where exactly we're at today. Hey there.
Hey guys, yeah, it's a little bit on the warmer side compared to yesterday. Not quite as many places that are down to freezing level or even below that. That was expected, but it's the wind chill factored in. Those are actually lower this morning because those winds are gusting up to about 10 to 15 miles per hour right now, and that's only going to increase through the afternoon. We're looking at about 20 to 25 by the afternoon, and then gusts could even maybe top out near 30. That's more likely northwest of Madison, but temperatures will be warmer both this morning and later this afternoon. I still think we'll see those temperatures cool down over the next few hours, but then we'll warm likely into the lower 60s, which, by the way, little bit above average and not quite as warm, though still, as what we're tracking over the weekend. There's little to no rain going forward. You can see the Madison area, Dane County, and southward down towards the Illinois-Wisconsin border. We're only looking at a couple tenths of an inch of rain at most on that scale. That's under the next 7 days, that text on there. We'll talk about the day that stands out right now the most over the next week and how long the 70s will stick around. That's coming up in just a bit.
All right, Savannah, thank you. 6:01 here on your Thursday. The Madison Schools referendum. If it passes, Madison taxpayers may not have to pay as much.
That's right, because the district is getting more money from the state than expected. So the district is getting $61 million, a 62% increase. The money will be used to lower property taxes, but it's unclear by how much. It comes as Madison school leaders are trying to pass a pair of referendums asking for $607 million. This is projected to raise property taxes an average of $3,800 over 4 years.
So it's really property tax relief. And so the need for sustainable revenues is solid and constant, and numbers are really firm and solid. But how that $100 million is funded, that's contingent on what the state legislature provides in terms of state aids.
Districts are also aware of the state's $4.6 billion budget surplus, which could also be used to fund schools and lower property taxes.
Several schools are going to referendum next month. McFarland is one of them. Residents there are going to have to vote on whether to give the school district an additional $5 million.
That would be over the course of 3 years, starting right away. I'm Michelle Renee Quinn is here to tell you what that means for you. Good morning.
Good morning. That's right. This referendum is asking residents to vote on a tax increase. However, because state aid for McFarland recently increased, this means the potential tax increase would be nearly 30% less than originally anticipated. Now, voters should note for property valued at $400,000, homeowners will pay $310 the first year instead of $404, and it continues to decrease. Year 2, they would pay $294 instead of $410, and the third year would be $293 rather than $415. Now, to learn more about the referendum and how the state aid will impact its effects, the district's holding an information session Sunday, October 27th. Information on when and where to attend is on the school's website.
So when it comes to state aid and property taxes, help us explain the correlation here.
Yeah, so that relationship is kind of like a teeter-totter. The more the state aid increases, then the less our property tax levies will be expected to cover that aid. So when that decreases, our tax levies might increase. They might be asking for more.
All right. Thanks for breaking it down for us this morning.
Absolutely.
Well, the city of Madison is asking residents to vote yes on a levy increase in property taxes. It looks to make up for a $22 million deficit in the city's operating budget. If it doesn't pass, city services and personnel will be impacted. But one group is hoping this referendum fails. It includes former Madison Mayor Paul Soglin. He says the city should have been lobbying for change at the state level before asking voters to dig into their pockets.
Real simple. The city of Madison needs a government relations lobbyist program. There are Republicans who should not be berated, but who should be engaged in discussion.
Currently, the state has levy limits placed on the city, something current Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says doesn't keep pace with population growth and inflation. She says passing the referendum would balance the budget for the next 6 years.
An update now on a story we brought you this week on vaguely threatening messages Wisconsin voters are getting that could intimidate them not to vote. A group called Free Speech for the People is making a request on behalf of the League of Women Voters. They want both federal and state justice departments to investigate. A statement from Wisconsin League of Voters Executive Director reads that Wisconsin voters need to know that these threatening messages are illegal, and the League of Women Voters will stand against bad actors who seek to sow confusion in our elections. Meantime, Wisconsin Elections Commission Administrator Megan Wolf answering some questions on the upcoming election. She says there are at least 78 drop boxes in the state. That number could be higher, though. Municipalities and clerks are not required to report locations to the Wisconsin Elections Commission. Around 500 drop boxes were used in 2020. Prior to then, there were many additional boxes in use. Wolf also encourages those questioning how the process works to get involved.
You can observe elections at any of the thousands of polling places around the state. You can even observe things like the pre-election tests of voting equipment that happen in each jurisdiction, the tally of absentee ballots, and even the audits that happen after Election Day. All of these things are happening in every community across the state. It's all publicly noticed and publicly observable.
As for absentee voting, more than 562,000 ballots have been requested. About 240,000 of those have been returned. That is down from the 2020 election when more than 1.3 million ballots were requested. Meantime, new filings with the Federal Election Commission show Elon Musk gave nearly $75 million to the pro-Trump super PAC he helped form. Between July and September, Musk made 7 contributions to the America PAC. It spent nearly $96 million total on the presidential race and millions more on competitive House races. Reports say that Musk is leading much of the get out the vote efforts here in Wisconsin for the former president. Well, a live look here. Sad news for One Direction fans, Kyrian.
That's right. The investigation into the death of Liam Payne is ongoing. The 31-year-old died after falling from the 3rd floor of his room in Buenos Aires. Fans gathered outside the hotel to honor the One Direction star. He had been in Argentina for the concert of his former bandmate, Niall Horan. An autopsy is still being conducted. Now to some local news. The Rock County Sheriff is investigating a death in Milton Township. Deputies responded to public hunting grounds over the weekend for suspicious activity. There they talked to a hunter who found human skeletal remains in the area. The sheriff's office says the identity of the person isn't known and there's no immediate threat to the public.
Well, check this out. The Wisconsin Grocers Association holding their annual Bag Off, a fierce competition here to find who the best bagger in the state is. The winner is going to be flown out to the national competition to compete for $10,000. Competitors judged on several factors, including weight distribution, bag build and style, attitude and appearance. This year's winner, Paul Dow, Badger at Sendik's Food Mart.
You know, I kind of wish I could be into this competition. Like I said, I think I am a mean bagger.
You think so?
At the self-checkout. Like, I don't even let my husband touch it. I'm like, you just, hand me the items. I got this. Because there's certain organization you got.
It's like a puzzle. Yeah.
Exactly. Got to make sure it all goes well when you get home.
All right, Savannah, what's coming up?
Guys, we do have some warmer temperatures out there compared to this time yesterday, and that's going to be the case later as we warm to above average temps finally. Again, we'll talk about how long that's going to stick around.
And it is spooky season in the 608 this morning, and we're learning some of the rich history of Madison. Coming up next, live in the 608, more on Mad City Ghost Walks. That's when News 3 Now this morning continues.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning, brought to you by Toyota.
Dear road rivals, no truck on the road drives value like the Tundra. Day after day, mile after mile, it all adds up to big savings under the hood. What's under yours? Toyota Tundra.
Right now, lease a new Tundra for $479 a month or get 3.99% APR for 72 months on a new Tundra. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
What have we got?
The Andersons. All night, tossing and turning, bad backs, sleep score at an all-time low.
Round up the team.
At Denver Mattress, going undercover is literally how we solve problems.
And we find sleepers waking up with aches and pains. We turn to the Tempur-Pedic Adapt, designed for ultimate pressure relief that uniquely adapts to your body's pressure points. The Tempur-Adapt features innovative technology, so you get deep, undisturbed rest all night long.
Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Save big money at Menards and stock up on your favorite Procter & Gamble products. We carry quality products from brands you can trust, like Dawn, Tide, Bounty, and more. Keep your home clean and stocked with essentials like paper towels, toilet paper, dish soap, and more cleaning supplies. Right now, receive $10 instant savings on a single qualifying purchase of $40 or more on Procter & Gamble products.
Save big money at Menards.
Ready to embark on an exclusive journey into the lives of UW's top athletes? News 3 Now sports director Zach Hanley takes you inside Wisconsin Huddle, a one-of-a-kind 30-minute weekly special. It's more than just highlights. It's more than X's and O's. It's an inside look into the world of Big Ten college athletes, from their journey to Madison to insights on how they prepare for competition. Watch Wisconsin Huddle Friday nights at 6:30 on WISC-TV. Brought to you by TDS Telecom.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
6:13 on your Thursday, and we're in the 608, and we're in the thick of spooky season right now, and a new business venture called Mad City Ghost Walks is bringing you tours of Madison.
Josh Breider is live downtown bringing us their story. Hey, Josh.
Hey guys, I hope you're ready for this. We're along Wisconsin Avenue this morning, learning some rich history of Madison, and of course it's spooky season, so we're gonna get a little bit of everything here this morning. Just a little bit of a teaser. We have KJ and Scott joining us live here on News 3 Now this morning. Guys, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Scott, I want to start with you because you were inspired to start Mad City Ghost Walks, and where did this all come from?
I've just always been a big fan of history, and I thought this was a great way to kind of bring some of those stories to life, have people come out, do a little walk around town, and get some good ghost stories.
So tell folks where we're starting this morning, because this is kind of the start of it all when you come out on tour.
Yeah, so this is the Wisconsin Masonic Center, and obviously it's a great building here in Madison. We start our tours here on the steps because there's some great stories here, and then we head up and finish out the tour around Fraternity Row. But I'm affiliated with this building. I've been here for about 10 years as a member of the Freemasons, and it's a great group, great organization, and they're kind enough to let us use the steps to start out.
I love it. So KJ, you're one of the tour guides. You're also a paranormal investigator. So what does this, really mean for you?
This is just a great opportunity to showcase what I know about the paranormal. I'm a writer, I'm a researcher, I'm a paranormal polymath, and just to have the opportunity to share what I know with what I know about the history of Madison. I've lived here 18 years. This is such a kind of a dream side hustle for me this time of year to have some fun and tell some stories along the way.
All right, so we're going to give a couple stories to our folks here at home. So what does a tour guide really do, and what does this look like for folks that are going to come on out here and do this?
Well, this is a great date night opportunity, first of all, and this is a fun opportunity, like I said, to just kind of know the history, learn everything about the paranormal, and we talk about ghosts, we talk about cryptids, we talk about UFOs and true crime. If it's weird, I'm talking about it. This is a safe place to talk about weird things, and I am so excited to just be a part of this and just sharing the cool history that Madison has to offer.
Well, especially this time of the year, right? Like, I think there's something about it. So, all right, any fast facts for folks here at home from where we're standing right now? Like, what would you tell folks right here?
Right here, right now? Well, I'd love for you to come on the tour, and I'll tell you more about this fabulous building, of course, but we do have a few spirits that linger in the Masonic Center. They're very friendly. They like to whistle. They like to... Well, that's all I'm going to leave you with. A teaser.
Maybe a previous governor. We'll say that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So when you're going about on this tour, there are obviously a bunch of places that you hop around, especially in the downtown area, and a lot of places that people are familiar with.
Yes, absolutely. They're places you've probably driven by 100 times and just thought, that's a cool building, that's a pretty building. It's also a haunted building.
Oh my gosh.
And I love to know the weird history about things, so come on a tour. We're going to talk weird.
Okay, so Scott, what do people need to know if they're interested in coming on a tour?
MadCityGhostWalks.com. All the dates are on there. We got dates through the end of the month. Next year, check back with us. We're going to be doing some architectural and historical tours. Hopefully get into Forest Hill Cemetery and start doing some historical tours out there as well. There's a ton of history in that cemetery.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. Well, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. If you'd like to learn more about Mad City Ghost Walks, just go to the story up on channel3000.com. There's a lot more information up there. Of course, more than we can get here in about 3 minutes, guys. But I always love spooky season, and it's always fun learning some rich history, especially in our own backyard.
All right, Josh, thank you so much. We'll check back in just a little bit.
Josh is always looking for stories to share. You have an idea for him, reach out and let him know about it.
Let's check in now with meteorologist Savannah Burrito, who's here now with your first warn weather. How's it looking out there this morning?
It's a little better than yesterday, but winds, those are slightly stronger than what we were tracking yesterday, but it's warmer. 41 clear winds right now. They're up to 5 miles per hour at the airport, so we do have a slight wind chill factored in Madison, but we at 10 a.m. will be up to almost 50 degrees, and then by lunchtime near the 60s in the upper 50s. Overall, we're back to above average temperatures, at least slightly well above average as early as tomorrow, though. Here's a look at our wind chills across southern Wisconsin, down to what feels like 28 in Monroe, 38 in Madison, 29 in Watertown, 27 in Mineral Point, and 21. That's what it feels like this morning in Black River Falls. Not everyone reporting a wind chill, but those areas that are seeing winds up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour, those are the places that are seeing a wind chill factored in. But like I mentioned, we're back close to 70 as early as tomorrow. The reason is because our winds are out of the south. All of this warm air that's sitting in the deep south and areas across the Great Plains, lower parts of the Midwest, and high pressure building in, that's going to increase with the ridge, our warmer temperatures as early as tomorrow. I do think a couple spots could top out at 70. That's more likely Saturday and especially by Sunday. This upcoming weekend is looking great. That's separating the cooler air and actually slightly below average temperatures sitting southwest of here, and we will eventually start to see things cool down a little bit more fall-like weather moves in by that mid to late week next week time frame. We're dry going forward. We still need the rain. Our drought monitor continues to see things expand or worsen. I think we could see a chance of rain at the earliest. We're looking at Monday night, but even that chance right now is low. Also, our nighttime temperature is much better as early as tonight. Only be down to 40, so no temperatures that are pushing or close to freezing level. That's 32. In fact, I think we go all the way until Wednesday next week before we start to see those upper 30s back for nighttime temperatures. And it's not terrible. I mean, given this time of year, we're almost into late October at that point in time, but we're still tracking some 70s.
All right, 70s looking good.
Yes.
Savannah, thank you. Still ahead, we have the perfect smoothie recipe for the Halloween season.
Coming up in our next half hour, a lot of Wisconsin's down ballot races are literally in new territory. We're going to have more on how candidates are preparing for the upcoming election.
And as we head to break, a look at gas prices this morning. Time now 6:19. We'll be right back.
The Packers take on the Texans, Sunday at noon.
Right now, pet dander, skin cells, and dirt are settling deep into your carpet fibers. Stanley Steamer removes the dirt you see and the dirt you don't. Your carpets aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
I worked as a truck driver for 36 years.
And then one day I got this letter.
Your retirement will be cut.
Will be cut in half.
You don't forget something like that.
Every paycheck we put money away. But because of Wall Street greed, boom, it was gone. But Tammy Baldwin saw what they were doing and wrote a bill to save our retirement.
Then she fought like hell to pass it.
What Tammy Baldwin did for our families, you don't forget something like that.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
It's Brad Beasley over at Tundraland, Wisconsin's trusted jacuzzi bath and shower remodeler. It's our fall into savings sale at Tundraland. In as little as one day, you can turn your bathroom from average to amazing. Your new jacuzzi shower will be the centerpiece of your home. If you act now, you'll get free installation with no money down, no payments, and no interest for a whole year. Call 1-800-TUNDRALAND or visit tundraland.com today.
Tundraland.com.
Rich, indulgent chocolate with a luscious caramel filling. Discover Ghirardelli caramel squares in a bag and a bar. Makes life a bite better.
My name is Jack Frank. I'm a retired paper mill worker in the valley here, and I work for Copeland Bus part-time on the side. I've had my own route now here for the last 3-4 years, and the kids on it are great. Flexible hours, they work with you in many different ways. If you've got something going, they accommodate you, or they try to get somebody to run your road. Copeland treats you decent. You know, all the years I worked here. It's a great place to work.
Wake up, people! Rotten sleep means rotten moods, rotten backs, rotten health. Rotten breath goes without saying, but you're in luck. Because during the incredible value sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Buena Vista. Any size, any model, and save $100. Or get 60 months no interest and free shipping. Kick that rotten sleep to the curb. Only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Allergies aren't fun for anyone, especially when they work their way into your home. A professional air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer can dramatically improve indoor air quality and significantly reduce indoor allergens. Your home isn't clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean.
Welcome back. Well, Halloween season is here again, and if you or your child is one of the many affected by food allergies, this time of the year can bring some challenges.
So today, Hy-Vee dietitian Erin DeGrave is sharing some allergen-friendly recipes. So how many people are affected by food allergies? Let's kind of put it in perspective for our viewers at home.
Millions.
Yeah.
Millions.
Right. So what have you brought for us that could be alternatives to give out and to enjoy this Halloween?
So to have a healthy Halloween, we can also have a safe Halloween, right? So having allergy-friendly options for those kiddos that are affected by food allergies, having maybe some Yum Earth, free to be or made good, which are easy to grab at the grocery store, and you don't have to worry about, well, you should always check the label, but you can be a little bit more easier.
So yeah, because we shouldn't assume that like candy that you maybe ate last year is safe this year, right?
Exactly. Manufacturers always change up their ingredients, so we always need to make sure we're continuously checking those food labels and making sure that they're safe for ourselves or our children.
What is this? This looks really good. What's in it?
Yeah, so I have a smoothie recipe for you today that you can help to energize your family before going out on those spooky season adventures. So it's a mango orange smoothie.
Okay, so what is this? What all do you need to make it look this good?
This good, frozen mango, orange juice. I added some yogurt today, but if you are allergy friendly or dairy free, make sure you're using a dairy alternative. And then a banana.
Well, it's something I use sometimes to make my smoothies for the kids more nutritious and a little creamier. Some avocado.
Yes,
some nice ripe avocado in there, smooth it up. And, you know, I like to hide in little things in there.
Yeah.
Pack in a little more nutrition for the kiddos.
And even to make it more orange, you could add squash or a carrot.
There you go.
How wild.
Let's mention, well, I'm so sorry. Let's mention the teal pumpkin real quick.
Yeah, so teal Pumpkin Project is an opportunity for those with food allergies to identify themselves as needing an allergy-friendly treat.
Are these bubbles?
Those are bubbles, so that could be a great
How
alternative
about
to candy and handing out those little treats and trinkets differently.
And the Hot Wheels that I dumped on the floor.
Yes, the Hot Wheels.
That's all right.
Those
So, and you said you're going to be giving out glow sticks.
I'm going to give out glow sticks at my house, so if you're in my neighborhood, maybe you'll get one.
And before we go, can you tell us about the upcoming event happening at Hy-Vee?
Yes, on October 26th, we have a trick-or-treat event at Hy-Vee. All of our local Hy-Vees will be participating from 10 to 1.
All right, you can come out, do all the fun Halloween-y things, and of course, if you need a recipe to enjoy,
this looks
here
good.
we go.
All right,
Maybe
we're
we should
back
take it
after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
I'm working harder than ever just to pay the bills and provide for my family. But here's what Kamala Harris thought my money should go to instead. Job training for illegal immigrants even after they commit crimes in America. Hotel rooms for illegal immigrants while our vets sleep on the street. Sex changes for illegal immigrants out of my pocket. Seriously, have these people lost their mind? Kamala Harris can never, ever be our president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The Madison Club, providing you with outstanding cuisine, extraordinary service, and an experience like you won't find anywhere else in town. Join today.
Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme.
This morning, we break down a new Quinnipiac poll, how the presidential candidates stack up in two crucial swing states.
Plus, with new state legislative maps, hear from two opposing candidates who have a new contingent of voters to sway.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Unley. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. This weather, I know it's the Midwest, but like there's so many ups and downs. Like earlier this week, I bought some winter coats. I'm like, okay, we need this winter coat. It's like, 30 degrees. And now I'm like, this afternoon,
I know. We got
lighter jacket.
a few 70s in the forecast still.
Yeah.
So warmer weather is still kind of hanging around. Savannah's out on the patio where she's got the heavy coat on this morning because we do have like really one more chillier morning over the next few days.
Yeah, this is the last chillier morning compared to what we'll see. Our nighttime lows actually increase. We'll be near the 40-degree mark, which we are right now, but it's the wind chill out there this morning that makes it feel like we're down to the mid to even upper 30s out there. That's because winds, those are slightly stronger than what we had yesterday morning, but there still are a big fluctuation across even Dane County. The warmest air, that's where the green, that color is. So Middleton's sitting at 40, Waunakee's at 43, but check out Stoughton and areas just to the southeast. Those temperatures are pushing freezing level, either the upper 30s or that one area that was down to 32. There are plenty of other areas that are only in the 20s, 29 in Camp Douglas, 20 degrees even, that's in Camp Douglas, 30 though in Janesville. So over the southern Wisconsin and really Dane County, there's a little bit of a temperature contrast, but we all are going to warm up into the lower 60s by the afternoon, and then even warmer temperatures to follow that Friday, and then especially into the weekend. We are tracking mostly sunny skies. Winds later are going to gust all the way up to about 25 to even 30 miles per hour. We'll talk about how long those breezy conditions are going to stick around, and then how long the 70s are going to stick around as well.
All right, Savannah, thank you. To our 3-4 the People coverage. The election is 19 days away, and the Harris-Walz campaign is all about Wisconsin today.
Vice President Kamala Harris is scheduled to speak in Milwaukee, Green Bay, and La Crosse. There's still no word on exact locations. This will be her 6th visit to Wisconsin since becoming the presidential nominee. It comes one day after appearing in an interview for the Fox News channel. She called out former President Donald Trump's rhetoric.
You've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that he is dangerous and that people are exhausted with someone who professes to be a leader who spends full time demeaning and engaging in personal grievances.
In the interview, Harris said her presidency would not be a continuation of President Joe Biden. A new Quinnipiac poll out today shows our presidential nominees holding their leads in key swing states.
So with just under 3 weeks to go until Election Day, some southeastern states, specifically North Carolina and Georgia, We have some movement here, so our Michelle Renee Quinn is breaking down these latest numbers for us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. That's right. Former President Donald Trump holds his lead in Georgia, and Vice President Kamala Harris holds a slight lead in North Carolina. Now, in Georgia, former President Trump picked up 2 points since last month to increase his lead to 7 points. Meanwhile, in North Carolina, the lead has shifted for the second time in the past 3 months in a race that Quinnipiac calls too close to call. Kamala Harris leads 49-47 over Donald Trump there.
So how does this poll compare to the one, what was it, a couple of weeks ago on October 1st?
Right. So, I mean, that North Carolina that I just said, 49-47, those numbers are the exact same for Harris and Trump. And in Georgia, the candidates completely flipped. I mean, Kamala Harris was in the lead just a few weeks ago, and now it's Trump. So it is a very tight race, and the polls are definitely polling.
Going to see a lot of back and forth leading up to that election day. Michelle Renee, thank you.
Absolutely.
It's not just the presidential candidates campaigning across the state. Candidates for U.S. Senate are also touring. Incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin and challenger Eric Hovde making stops yesterday. Baldwin visited a ginseng farm in Wausau, speaking about trade and tariffs and how they affect American workers. Hovde took part in a healthcare roundtable in Madison. Current Senators John Barrasso and John Kennedy also participated. That discussion focused on the cost of prescription drugs. Tomorrow, the Senate candidates will face off in their first and only debate. It'll air on Television Wisconsin, which is digital channel 3.2. You can also live stream at channel3000.com. The debate begins at 7 o'clock tomorrow. It's expected to last an hour. Prior to the debate, our political reporter Will Keneally will host a build-up show starting at 6:30. That's on TVW and channel3000.com. He'll also do a post-show debate exclusively online.
Many of Wisconsin's down-ballot races are in new territory due to new legislative maps. This includes the race for the state Senate's new 14th district. Republican incumbent Joan Balwick and Democratic challenger Sarah Kieski took part in a forum in Lodi. The two candidates are connecting with voters in the 6 counties the district encompasses. Here's what they had to say about the change.
It's an opportunity to really talk to people that maybe haven't heard more of a progressive message.
Challenge that the work that I've done for the past 4 years is not wasted, but 2/3 of the district is changed. But the characteristics of the district are very similar.
The Lodi Optimist Club and High School will host another candidate forum October 23rd for Assembly candidates.
Wisconsin Department of Justice confirming a missing Roxbury man is dead. You may recall a silver alert in September for this man, 65-year-old Timothy James Campbell. He originally left his group home on Loper Road in Roxbury on September 21st. This comes a day after a new investigation into human remains found last week. Sunday, a hunter found remains in the area around Highway Y and Loper Road in the town of Roxbury. That autopsy is complete, but the medical examiner has not released the person's identity.
And new this morning, a man is in custody accused of putting bags of fentanyl and cocaine in mailboxes. The Iowa County Sheriff's Office received 2 calls about suspicious bags of white powder Tuesday morning. The bags appeared in mailboxes in Dodgeville. The calls came in within about an hour of each other. Dodgeville police investigated and arrested a 29-year-old Dodgeville man. He faces felony counts of recklessly endangering safety, along with drug possession and delivery offenses.
Happening today, the man accused of attacking a UW-Madison student in her 20s has a plea hearing. Madison police arrested Brandon Thompson last September. Prosecutors say that he beat and sexually assaulted the student. She ended up in a coma and nearly died. The district attorney charged Thompson with first-degree sexual assault, first-degree reckless injury, strangulation, and suffocation. Thompson previously pleaded not guilty after allegedly telling police he could have assaulted the woman but didn't remember.
New this morning, the Federal Trade Commission is adopting a new click-to-cancel rule. It's intended to make canceling recurring subscriptions easier. Now, if a company allows customers to subscribe online, they must allow customers to cancel the same way. The new rules aim to prevent companies from complicating the process to cancel subscriptions. In many cases, customers have had to personally contact customer service representatives to cancel subscriptions. This has allowed representatives to attempt to persuade the customer not to cancel. The changes take effect in 6 months.
Well, the Tampa Bay Rays might have to relocate next season. That's because of damage to Tropicana Field from Hurricane Milton. The Tampa Bay Times reports the stadium won't be ready in time for next season. While there's already been a push for the team to play in Oakland, California, that's where the Athletics were based until now. They're moving to Sacramento temporarily until their permanent home in Las Vegas is ready. So the Oakland Coliseum is available for the Rays. That would take them from one bay to another, I guess.
Yes, and you can just see here just the damage that Milton left behind.
I know, it's crazy to see that it almost looks like a tornado went through. I know hurricanes can cause, similar damage. Even a lot of tornadoes were reported around that area from Milton.
There were lots of tornadoes.
Yeah, between Helene and Milton, I mean, just crazy damage all across not only Florida, but, the Carolinas as well, and far inland.
Just a reminder of the longer impact and the long road to recovery that the Southeast has after those 2 hurricanes.
Yeah, they're going to continue picking up for quite some time. But locally, we're not tracking any rain or storms or snow for that matter. Highs yesterday did make it into the 50s for the most part, a few upper or lower 60s, but we'll talk about how warm we're going to get coming up.
And coming up after the break, here from people in Ozaukee County after tornado alarms accidentally went off.
Plus, it is spooky season of the 608, and we're learning some rich history in Madison. I'm going to have more on Mad City Ghost Walks and how you can be part of it next.
Eric Hovde has a problem with the truth. Time and again, his ads have been called false. He's a desperate candidate, willing to say anything. But here's what's true. Eric Hovde has a plan to slash Social Security 28%, Medicare 25%, veterans benefits 40%, all to spend $4 trillion on tax breaks for rich guys like himself. Eric Hovde's lying, and he's not for us.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
With high inflation, working families like mine are hurting, and Kamala Harris helped create this mess. Now, while Americans struggle, Kamala spent our tax dollars putting illegal immigrants up in hotel rooms, and she supported spending our tax dollars to give illegals sex changes. It's not just liberal, it's insane. Kamala Harris can never, ever be our president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Career politicians like Peter Barca will say anything to get elected. His latest negative ad against Brian Style has been called blatantly false. The truth, Style has always supported IVF. He co-sponsored a resolution supporting IVF, and Style backs legislation to help families afford IVF. Peter Barca can sling mud, but we deserve better than just another lying career politician.
I'm Brian Style, and I approve this message.
Discover a level of comfort you never thought possible. Discover stressless seating at the Century House. Designed to harmonize with your body's natural movements, it's the premier destination for relaxation and rejuvenation. Right now, take 10% off all stressless recliners, sofas, tables, and ottomans. The Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Sometimes the smallest cracks can cause the biggest chills. Something sinister is lurking in the shadows. What was that? To survive, they must seal their fate.
It's not working.
With Feldco.
50% off Windows ends soon. Come now.
This fall, watch out for The Draft.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
6:43 on your Thursday. Officials in Ozaukee County are working to figure out the cause of a false tornado alarm. The sirens went off Tuesday in Port Washington. It happened at 2 different times and continued each time. So no such emergency was going on. There were no watches or warning in place. Ozaukee County Emergency Management posted on Facebook that the alarms were errors. Port Washington police even told people to stop calling dispatch as crews worked to fix the problem. Here's what one person had to say about hearing the noise.
Nothing really exciting happens in Port Washington, so I was like, what's going on? I mean, we're a pretty quiet town, and so a little noise goes a long way around here.
Ozaukee County Emergency Management says the cause of the failure was not within the controls of their dispatch.
Let's check in now with meteorologist Savannah Brito, who's here now with your first warn weather. Things were really cool yesterday when that was going on.
Yeah, it was definitely on the cooler side yesterday. All day, we didn't even achieve a high of 60 yesterday, though some of us did make it in the mid to upper 50s. There were a few 60s. That was mainly west and also south of Madison. We're going to see cool nighttime temperatures at least early this morning, and then we have much warmer days ahead that will include the nighttime temperatures. But we're talking about the 70s over the weekend. We'll have lots of sunshine too. Little to no rain going forward. I think that holds off through the entire weekend, even into early next week, although clouds are going to increase for some of us on Monday afternoon. I think rain holds off until Monday night, and even that chance is looking slight to none right now. Wind chills, those make it feel like we're down to the mid, even upper 30s in a couple areas. Air temperatures for the most part are hovering around the 40-degree mark in Madison. I still think we'll cool down another degree or two. Most of us dropping to the upper 30s, but some of us across Dane County are as low as the lower 30s. That's mainly to our southeast in comparison to Madison. We'll warm up past what we did yesterday. We're tracking the lower 60s this afternoon, and then even warmer of air that's going to build in, but it'll be breezy out there today, tonight, and into tomorrow. Gusts right now, that's why we have a wind chill factored in. Those are up to about 11 miles per hour in Madison, but stronger to our west and northwest where they have areas gusting up to 15, even 20 miles per hour. By the afternoon, our winds still out of the south, but you can see those speeds increasing. We'll be up to about 20 to 25 miles per hour. West of Madison could reach a 30. That stays pretty much where we'll be tonight, and then into tomorrow those drop a little bit. Still going to be a breezy day where winds gust to about 20 to 25 miles per hour again. Long term though, beyond that week time frame, I think we're still tracking warmer temperatures mid to late week next week. We're looking at about still a 60% chance of seeing above average temperatures. Most of the country included in those yellows, and then also oranges, reds, and pinks. The Pacific Northwest really the only area that's seeing that blue or slightly below average temperatures. We're up to 69 Friday and then got 70s in the forecast this weekend. How about the mid 70s on Sunday? That'll last into early next week before we cool down again.
All right, Savannah, it does not get much more mild than this for this time of year. It really doesn't.
We're in one of the last weekends of October, and it's looking really nice.
I need to click my heels in the air 3 times. Yes, for this one.
All right, it is 6:08 this morning, so we're in the thick of spooky season right now, and a new business venture called Mad City Ghost Walks is bringing you tours of Madison.
Josh Butter is live in downtown with their story this morning. Josh, how's it going?
Hey, good morning to you guys. Yeah, I think the chilly air this morning kind of adds to that spookiness out here in Madison. We're learning some of the rich history. We've made our way up Wisconsin Avenue. We're outside the Edgewater right here by Lake Mendota. I have Scott and KJ joining us live this morning. Guys, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
So, Scott, I want to start with you because Mad City Ghost Walks, this was kind of an inspiration for you, and now it all came together, and that's got to feel pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting to get going and actually have something come together and actually make it, you know, my wife originally had said, what are you going to do? And I said, I think this will work. It's going to be fun and whatever. And now that it's kind of come around, it's actually turning into something a lot of fun.
And you kind of found that there is a lot of rich history just in the capital city alone.
Oh, there's no shortage of history around here, especially downtown on the Isthmus. I mean, political history, you've got murder, true crime, haunted events. There's all kinds of that stuff. There's no shortage of information out there.
So KJ, you're one of the tour guides. You're also a paranormal investigator. So I would imagine you have a lot of fun with this.
This is a dream nightmare come true. I have a lot of fun with this. I do. I'm a writer. I'm a paranormal polymath. I love anything UFOs, cryptids, ghosts, true crime, and we get it all here. Right here in Mad City Ghost Walk, so I'm having a blast.
So we've made our way up Wisconsin Avenue, as I mentioned. We're outside the Edgewater right here by Lake Mendota. So what sorts of stuff do you know about this area?
Well, I know a little bit about, we've got some spirits that linger in the Edgewater that like to open and close doors and create kind of cool breezes down the hallways that we can't explain. There are buildings that are no longer with us that have some interesting ghost history as well. And of course, down Fraternity Row, we've got some true crime. We've got Lake Mendota here. We've had sightings of sea monsters like 100 years ago. We have legends from the Ho-Chunk tribe about Picnic Point and the witches of Picnic Point. So there's lots of stories just in this 1 mile stretch.
And obviously, I mean, there's a lot of like old buildings, so I would imagine a lot of spirits are lingering in this area.
Absolutely. I gather some of these buildings are probably haunted and people haven't even figured it out yet too. It's just you wonder if the walls could talk, and I think they do.
Oh my gosh. So as a paranormal investigator, you know, what is that like for you, and how do you get into something like that?
You got to be kind of twisted, but you have to. It's a lot of fun. It's about just relaxing and understanding your environment and just not being afraid and using it as an opportunity to just kind of reflect on the space that's around you and appreciating that history and the people that may have been there before you. It's not as scary as it sounds.
I love that. Well, hey, you can come get a tour with KJ right now, Scott. There's still plenty of time this season, too.
Yep, we've got a dozen about tours left this season. We'll be running until November 1st. And then next year we'll be doing some other stuff, some interesting things next summer as well.
So this is brand new, so you're hoping to keep this thing going?
Oh, yeah, we're really hoping to move it along because the writing came along easily. There's no shortage of information. And then I found KJ, and she was willing to bring in her expertise in writing, all that type of thing to the endeavor, and it's just been going from there.
Oh, this is so interesting, guys. Thank you so much for a teaser this morning. We appreciate it. If you'd like to learn more about Mad City Ghost Walks, just go to the story up on channel3000.com. I have a link right to their website so you can see when you can actually check out these tours and learn a little bit more history right here in our own backyard, guys.
Do you believe in ghosts, Kyrian?
I have not had an experience, so I guess I cannot say. But
boy, just always so. It's fascinating when Josh talks to people like that who are just like they're all in.
Yeah.
Right. These people, oh man, are they in? I'm always like, what's okay? Causing me to rethink things. All right. Josh Breider, good stuff. Thanks for talking to those folks for us this morning.
And remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email us at inthe608@WISC-TV.com for a chance to be featured. And coming up in the morning sprint, new data on cases of children accidentally consuming medicine.
If you got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, send us a picture. We'll show it on TV to help them celebrate. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Don't miss the final weeks of A1 Furniture's huge store closing sale. Everything must go by October 30th. Huge selection still available, but it won't last long. Our lowest prices ever. Final weeks on now, only at A1 Furniture's store closing sale.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line. When victory alone isn't enough, you keep dreaming and go beyond what's possible. The Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot. Part of our most rugged lineup yet.
Have you heard Eric Humpty?
I am totally opposed to abortion.
I am totally opposed to politicians telling women what we can do.
Extremists all over the country have passed abortion bans.
Criminal penalties for doctors. No exceptions for rape or incest.
Women are dying just trying to get health care.
There are even restrictions in Wisconsin. This has to stop.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
We are totally opposed to Eric Humpty.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I can honestly say that Cardinal has never let me down.
Cardinal is the place to go for any type of work that you need done around your home.
The kindness, the efficiency, the professionalism, the respect was amazing.
We were very impressed with their cleanliness.
I definitely recommend Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning because of the professionalism, the communication they provided.
Cardinal will always be my first call for anything that Cardinal does.
I think we're going to continue to use Cardinal for a long time.
Don't miss the final weeks of A1 Furniture's huge store closing sale. Everything must go by October 30th. Huge selection still available, but it won't last long. Our lowest prices ever. Final weeks on now, only at A1 Furniture's store closing sale.
Free for the people, only on News 3 Now.
6:54, time for the morning sprint.
The Harris Walz campaign turns its attention to Wisconsin today. Vice President Kamala Harris is scheduled to speak in Milwaukee, Green Bay, and La Crosse. We have just learned businessman and Shark Tank star Mark Cuban will appear with Harris. There's still no word on exact locations. This will be her 6th visit to Wisconsin since becoming the presidential nominee.
Madison taxpayers may not have to pay as much if the school referendums pass. That's because the district is getting more money from the state than expected. It's now set to receive $61 million. That is a 62% increase year over year. The additional state aid should lower Madison property taxes.
The Rock County Sheriff's Office is investigating a death in Milton. Deputies responded to public hunting grounds Sunday morning for suspicious activity. There, they talked to a hunter who found human skeletal remains in the area. The Sheriff's Office says the identity of that person is unknown at this time, and there's no immediate threat to the public.
New this morning, a man is in custody accused of putting bags of fentanyl and cocaine in mailboxes. The Iowa County Sheriff's Office received a couple of calls about this Tuesday morning. The bags appeared in mailboxes in Dodgeville. Police there investigated and arrested a 29-year-old Dodgeville man who's facing several felony counts.
Cases of children accidentally ingesting medications or illegal substances are rising drastically. A study presented at the European Emergency Medicine Congress looked at data between 2009 and 2023. The number of children having seizures due to accidental ingestion doubled in the U.S. These substances include allergy medications, opioids, and antidepressants.
One Direction fans are mourning the unexpected loss of Liam Payne. Buenos Aires police say Payne fell from the 3rd floor of a hotel. He had been in Argentina for a concert of a bandmate. Police rushed him to the hospital in a response to a call about an aggressive man. They believed that that man was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Liam Payne was 31.
Temperatures are going to be back into the lower 60s, which is a little bit above average, and we have warmer nighttime temperatures the next several nights. 40 tonight, not freezing level like areas woke up to last night and early this morning, and then 70s for the weekend before we see fall-like weather settle back in.
That's okay. 70s, we'll take it.
We'll embrace them.
Exactly. Savannah, thank you.
We're back in 30 minutes.